Hello, 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 ladies. How are you? I wanted to come in here and share some thoughts. Which, as you guys know, if you've been in here, you know that I do that. I come in here and I share some thoughts every now and then. Usually, it's because I've seen, like either my clients or people in my life or even in my own life, some patterns, and I try to notice that and I try to say, how can I take this information that's coming toward me and share it with others so that we can move everyone forward. So I wanted to talk today about, holding back. When we hold ourselves back, when we hold ourselves back from our greatness, when we hold ourselves back from accomplishing things that we know we need to do that may be scary a bit. It might be something that, is totally outside of our comfort zone. It may be a decision that we've put off. It may be just the fact that it's just time to take a step in our life. It could be anything. And I think through life, this happens quite a bit. And so I was thinking today about how we hold ourselves back from our greatest potentials and how so often, I learned many years ago that when we delay something that is for our benefit and our growth, even if it's scary, we oftentimes spend more energy procrastinating and putting it off than it takes to just hunker down and get it done. And so anyway, I wanted to share a few things that we can do, that any one of us can do in these moments when we find ourselves in a block. Or holding ourselves back. So one of the things that we have to do is first acknowledge our subconscious. We have to say, okay, when we're born with this blank canvas. My granddaughter, she has no, life is just very simple. She's upset if she's in a poopy diaper or needs to be fed. But her life is pretty simple and pretty sweet right now. And we want to keep it that way, right? But as time goes, her subconscious is going to get programmed, and we all got programmed in our lives, whether it was in the home that we grew up in or experiences that we went through, or maybe school experiences that we went through during school, or friends or whatever. But we start to get these programs, and some people give them to us without meaning to. They mean well, but maybe some of the programming is passed down from generation to generation. And some of those programmings come from experience that we personally have as well. So programming comes from multiple areas, but we get so much of our programming before the age of 8, and then even on into our teens, and then we take that into our adulthood, and things just tend to compile up. So first, we have to acknowledge what our subconscious is saying. We have to be able to catch ourselves and listen to ourselves, and then write those things down when they're coming, when we go, whoa, okay, that's not exactly a thought that's helping me. Maybe that's a thought that's causing me to kind of spiral into a different direction that I don't want to go, and I have to catch myself, right? So, whether it's belief around money or belief around relationships or belief around beliefs you might have with God in your relationship with God or a higher power, or beliefs that you may have you as an individual. You might have been, I remember thinking growing up that I was so creative. I was so artsy. I thought I had all this talent. And then as time went, my mom always talked about my sister Rebecca having all that. She would say Rebecca has the artistic ability in our family. And I thought, I thought I was artsy. And I actually gave up on trying to be artsy because I thought, well, I guess Rebecca has all the art capacity in our family. I guess she got all that talent. And I was too young to catch myself and instead say, Mom, I think I do art pretty well too. Does it have to be Rebecca? I have nothing against Rebecca. She's my sister. I'm thankful she's very artsy. But what I did is I gave up. And it's because I heard my mom claiming that my sister had all the artsy talent in our family. And I look back and I go, I had it too. And I had a passion for it. But I allowed that experience to tell me that I was not good at it, that I was not as good at it as my sister. And so therefore, why try? And I look back and wonder, you know, of course, my mom didn't do that on purpose. But she decided that Rebecca was the artsy one. And, you know, and I don't really know what talent I had growing up. I have no idea what my mom would say about me. But my point is, I look back and I go, you know, it's kind of a shame because I really had a passion for art, and I let it go for years because Rebecca was the one that apparently had it, and I believed it, you know. And so it's little things like that that we can tend to be just conditioned and not realize it. But we have to get real with ourselves and revamp those thoughts. We have to take control of those thoughts. So change the way we speak to ourselves. The second thing we have to do, once we know what our subconscious is telling us, we have to then change how we speak to ourselves. So sometimes if I catch myself, because we all have to catch ourselves on these things, I write down my thought and then I go, okay, how can I reconstruct this thought, right? How can I reconstruct what I've been telling myself for I don't know how many years in that category? So that leads me to then that turns into an affirmation. And affirmations, some people say don't work. But let me tell you, they do. We can use affirmations stated in the present tense. I am totally deserving of love, wealth, and happiness. I am a winner. I am beautiful. I am smart. I am healthy. I am in control of my life and my body. And I have opportunities. Any company is lucky to have me. Any client is lucky to have me. Whatever it is you do, you know, and reconstruct those thoughts and tell yourself different programming. Reprogram your mind. Take control of those thoughts and really, truly own the ability to reprogram it, because no one can reprogram our mind like we can for ourselves. And then sometimes we have to get over our own ego. Sometimes we have to say, you know what, at the end of the day, I need to kind of get over myself right now and bone up and move forward, right? Remember that some of the things that we think are our world is falling apart, really in perspective sometimes is very small. And sometimes we have to put that perspective in motion in our mind. So every now and then I remember someone particular in my life likes to point out how I'm wrong. And he would just dig. Well, you were wrong, you're wrong. So I finally looked at him one time and said, you know what, you're right. I could be wrong. I wasn't really sure. I could be wrong. But what I know is my arms aren't falling off and my legs aren't falling off, even if I was wrong. Even if I am wrong, you know, the world is not going to end because Amy was wrong, right? And so, sorry, all these notifications need to stop. Anyway, all of that to say, you know, sometimes we have to put a little perspective and drop down our ego and breathe when someone's attacking us or something is going on and say, you know what? Maybe I am wrong. Maybe I was wrong in what I said. Maybe I remembered that event different, but my arms and my legs are still intact and my life is not over and your life isn't over and your arms and legs are still intact. I really pissed that individual off when I said that because it took the power out of the heat out of the situation, and it allowed me to say, you know, oh well, if I was incorrect in how I remembered that event happening, life is still going to move on, right? So sometimes we have to get over ourselves and say, you know, it's okay. And then know that forward is forward. Moving forward means stop wasting hours and years analyzing what happened behind us and start saying, but as far as here and today goes, what can I do to progress forward? What can I do? And I thought of a few times the story in the Bible talks about how, you know, the woman was told not to look back or she would turn to salt. And that story has come to me in my life many times, and it came up again recently where it was like, don't look back in the past, keep looking forward, because when we look in the past we can turn to salt. And we lose who we are, we lose where we're going, and we lose sight of where we're supposed to be. So don't look back, always look forward, make a plan on moving forward. Don't turn to salt. And then a little exercise I'd love to share that I find is very, very helpful is to sit down for a few minutes, and it doesn't have to take 15 minutes. You can get it done. When you find yourself needing some motivation, some clarity to keep progressing forward on your goals and you're feeling a little stuck, you might be hitting a wall, sit down and ask yourself, in 6 months from now, where do I want to be? And then write as much as you need to. I did this morning, and this is an exercise to do throughout life. You know, it's not a one and done thing. This is something that helps us. We're always going to have gremlins. And once we reach the new next level and we get used to that, there's going to be yet another level of gremlins that comes at us. So I've learned, I used to think that there would be a level of point in my life where I would no longer have any gremlins and everything would be just figured out and easy peasy, right? Wrong. As soon as we reach the next level in our lives, we are going to find more gremlins that meet us at the new level. And so we're going to have to clear those out. We're going to have to work those out through affirmations, through self-belief, through clearing limiting beliefs in our mind and saying, I'm not going to allow these limiting beliefs to hold me back any longer. Done. Not going to happen, right? So one of the things that you can do is affirmation writing. And it helps you with goal setting as well. So write down, where do you want to be in 6 to 8 months from now? Where do you want to be? What's the life you want to live? What do you want your health to be like? What do you want your relationships to be like? I'm stuttering over my words. What do you want? Where do you want to be living? Do you want debts paid off by then? Do you want to have grown your income? Do you want to have more abundance in your life? In what areas and what categories? Set those intentions, but write them down and put a date on it. You know, SMART goals, they have a date, they're obtainable. You don't want to say that in a year you're going to be, in 6 months you're going to be a millionaire, but you can say in 6 months you can be making 6 figures. That's totally doable. I've done it. And I know anybody else can. Like, if I've done it, anybody else can do that. You can change your life in 6 months. And then your trajectory is totally going a different way and in a much better path. And then 6 months from there, you could be making 7 figures, right? We really only hold ourselves back. So write down, you know, endless pages, right? Write down whatever you want to write down, that in 6 to 8 months, where do you want to be? Where do you want your relationships to be? Your food, your nutrition, your body, how you treat your body, how you treat other people, how you are treated by other people, what boundaries you need to have in place at that point in your life. But then write it as in present tense. You know, today is May 1st, or the end of May, June 1st, whatever, I don't know what 6 months is from now. But, you know, today is whatever 1st, and I live here, and I have this, and I have paid off this amount of debt. My job, my career is doing this. My relationships are doing this. It is summer. I feel the warmth on my body. Use descriptions. I feel the warmth. I live in Colorado. So feeling the warmth on my body sounds really good right now because there's a bajillion lots of snow outside. And then after you just brain dump, that's called brain dumping, where you don't let anything hold you back. You put anything down, don't judge it, write it down. Where do you want to be in 6 to 8 months? And then go back through that and allow that to identify the action steps that you can take today to accomplish that in the next 6 to 8 months. So it's a great way to also change your affirmations, change your subconscious, change your mindset, let limiting beliefs go, believe in abundance, and then also go back through, and that helps you set your goals as well. It clarifies the goal steps that you need to take. It helps to lay those out for you. So I hope this is helpful for you. I really want to give good content in this group. And I love you, ladies, and I believe in each one of you. I believe in myself. I believe in a higher power that helps us accomplish the things that sometimes feel like a mountain to climb, but that we can get to the top of that mountain and even make it onto the other side and see the valley and the beauty on the other side. And I know that through, no matter what's going on in your life right now, you can accomplish anything. I can too. We all can. And I leave this with you, onwards and upwards. Bye for now. Mwah.